is Victor. Once again, this is my guys.
I'm Seti.
So today we're gonna be talking about money, because everyone seems to be very concerned about that. What is money? How does it move and shape our lives? How does it influence our decisions? How does it affect the people around us? Hell, how does it affect the world that we live on today?
That's a good question.
So, Seti, would you like to dive right into that?
What? Why me though? I mean, you can talk about it too. Shit. I don't know. The first thing I wanted to talk about though was what happens when you have money. What happens when you got money? We all know, okay?
That feeling.
Dude!
Whoo, man, you be on charge.
There's only one word that can describe it. Balling! I mean, we all know. Okay?
Just got paid. Just got paid.
Right? Dude.
That is an incredible fucking feeling. I mean, I remember the first time I had $5,000.
Damn, when did that happen?
Man, you know what I felt like that day? I had a brand new suit. I had $5,000 cash in my pocket. And I went downtown, Minneapolis, and I acted like a fucking fool. Because I knew I could do it. I could get away with anything that day. I would go up to random motherfuckers, hey man, let's kick it. A bar right up the street, drinks on me, what's up? And we went, boom, and we did it. I was like, see, This is how people feel like who got money all the time. They can just do shit like that. I'm at the bar acting crazy.
Who are those people?
People with real money. Not people with $5,000. Those people with real money can do some shit. And they don't even think about shit. Those are the kind of motherfuckers who be like, let me get this, let me get that. They're like, do you want to know how much it costs? I don't need to know all that.
Oh, fuck that. They don't even, dude,
you know what I'm saying?
These people have so much money, they don't even really buy things. They go into stores, they pick shit out, and then they leave. And then someone else comes in afterward, just like, please put it on this. He's already gone. He doesn't even acknowledge that this is the store. This is like where he just goes to put his clothes on. So,
I thought he was just window shopping. But apparently, that motherfucker was actually marking out the shit that he wants. Because here's my list, and I'm going to need you to put it on this credit card, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so, those people with money. Money, man, it's...
Money changes everything. I mean, it's fucked up. And, I think... Maybe it's a little too early because we just started the video, but man, it's that whole capitalism shit here. All right, so here we are. We're about to continue on the subject of money.
We already talked about how money makes you feel good, makes you feel like you can get away with anything, you can do anything. Agency, I think that's the real word that we're kind of looking for right now is agency. Money does give you the ability to do things, and we're kind of going with who has money and what they can do with it. And you gotta acknowledge the world that we live in right now.
I mean, it's a very capitalistic world right now, where money is God. Let's face it. I mean, money is what separates you from everyone else. How much you have, your liquid assets, and so forth. I mean, money changes everything in your life. You can go from being a broke scholar to a rich millionaire. I mean, that didn't even sound right. Edit that shit out. Note to Vic, edit that last shit out. Okay, what we were saying here is that money, cash was everything around me, right?
No, you were saying capitalism. You were saying this is a capitalist society. But my rebuttal to that is even other kinds of government have, or other kinds of economies have money in them.
Well, yeah, but a lot of governments aren't corporate based like we are over here, though.
Okay, that's
everything is about the exchange rate. Everything is about the money.
No,
the exchange of money for services or goods. America went from an economy that was more service driven. We came out with automobiles, steel factories, it was about building products, and then we would ship them out to be sold. Now we're exporting everything, importing everything, I should say. And we're doing it so that these corporations, that first was these little bitty moms and pop shops, are now these huge conglomerates with offshore holding accounts subsidiaries and so many middlemen between the guy who actually owns it and the guy who's working on the factory floor that you don't know who's really making all the money. All you know is it's not you. You're not the one making all the money.
Okay,
and because you're not the one making all the money, you can't make any real decisions about how that company's doing anything right now.
Okay, hold on.
That went off on a tangent.
Just reel it back a little. We're not quite to the system of money yet. Okay, we haven't reached that. We're still talking about, because you have some money. I got some money. We all got a little bit of money. I mean, maybe not all of us. I mean, there are clearly people who have very little in this world. We have some, you know.
I mean, yeah, some money is good for some day-to-day shit. Like, okay, so I got $10 for my gas tank today.
Right.
Okay, so this is gonna give me around this is gonna be around to whatever I need to for the next couple of days, provided I drive conservatively.
So,
and that's provided a tire doesn't get a flat. That's provided my engine doesn't break down. That provided my alternator doesn't go. That's provided my girlfriend just decided that we needed a new cat. We gotta buy supplies for that.
But what else can money do for you though? Like, when I say money, it gives you agency. It means you can do different things. So you said you have some of it. So that means you have some agency, right?
Right.
You have the ability to do
to affect some change in your life with the advent of money. So yeah. So like. What was the article I was reading about a few years ago? There was this millionaire who lives in LA, right? He lives in a penthouse apartment. He weighs over 800 pounds. He lives in a pool in his apartment.
You said he lives in a pool?
He lives in a pool because his body can't support his weight while standing. So he stays in the pool 24/7.
But how?
And he has bath girls come in and wash away the filth, along with the filters in the pool. And he does everything from this pool. He runs his businesses, he orders in, maids come in, clean out. Everything he does is through online and through phone.
Clean out what? He lives in a fucking pool. He might as well live at SeaWorld.
He sweat, shits, all that stuff.
In the pool?
Yeah.
So he's a whale. That's essentially what you're telling me.
A human being has become a whale with the advent of money. This has been possible.
That's disturbing on so many levels. But
here's the thing though, with money and the internet, or even before that with just phones, you can do anything with money. You can never have to leave your house again.
You can do anything.
You can order your groceries, your underwear, your garbage be taken care of, maids to come in and clean, and never have to leave your apartment.
Okay.
Because of money.
So people who have money can do anything.
People who have money can generally do about anything in this accepted corporate America. Yes.
All right. I mean, you keep taking it back to corporate America.
Because we keep seeing a difference. We see people penalized on the crimes differently because of the money that they have.
What do they call it? Affluenza.
Exactly. So people with low affluence get harsher penalties for crime. Whereas white collar crimes, okay, so basically what we're saying here is if what was first degree murder is 7 to 10 years. Felony possession of cocaine, crack cocaine, let me be specified here, because these are different terms. Felony possession of crack cocaine could be up to 40 years?
I have no idea.
Per offense. Okay, whereas possession of cocaine, it's 2-3 years? Probation most likely?
Okay.
There's a difference. And they're gonna say the difference because one's a level 2 drug, one's a level 3 drug. And because of that, harsher penalties. But then those other drugs like that cocaine is mostly found in suburbs. That crack is mostly found in urban areas. So then what we're looking at here, we're looking at poverty, we're looking at wealth, we're looking at classism once again.
Right. So the people who don't have money, or very little money, very little agency, they're guys like us, people who work paycheck to paycheck, let's hope nothing goes wrong, and let's just, live our lives the best we can.
Exactly.
And then you have another group of people who don't necessarily worry about money. They don't worry about things going wrong because they have the agency, the ability to make changes with money easily because they have so much of it.
These are people who for money as a thing really doesn't even exist.
It doesn't register.
These people have so much money that their money is making money for their money. they have so much money that their children will never have to even worry about money. That kind of money, that long money.
Old money.
Long, old money.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money that we're talking about here. Because people who have that kind of money, they can affect policies on global and international scales. These people who don't have to worry about consequences like we do. These people are not waiting for their next check and hoping nothing goes wrong. These are people who can go out there and blow $20, $30 million in a day.
So what do we call
and
these
be okay
people?
with that. They're fine because they ain't even notice it.
What do
We
call
noticed
these
it.
people? What do we call the people with all the money? Who are they?
Who? Well, they like to be called the what? The elite? The
The
1%?
elite? I don't think they call them. I don't think they go around calling themselves the elite. Okay, just that's
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you think Rothschild calls himself what? Just a normal, average, working day man?
Look,
Pretty sure
man,
you don't.
Listen. Now I don't want to take it too far off topic, but there are people right now that are in college who come from wealthy families. Their college they dropped the whole tuition in one rip, and now you just go to this school. I've seen the people who...
Have you met these people?
No, I'm talking about... There's a lot of shit happening on college campuses right now with Black Lives Matter and feminism and all these crazy fucking things. That
What about the transgender bathrooms?
Yeah, that too. That's part of it. But I'm just saying, like, there are people who live... They're comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
they can drop money.
So there's levels of
their...
wealth.
Of course, there are levels of wealth. There are people who live comfortable,
So
but
people-
yet they still see themselves as unhappy, oppressed. They are marginalized. They are, you know... I mean, for me, as someone who never would be able to, you know, drop tuition for college in one rip, I'm looking at that motherfucker like, what are you complaining about? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why are you mad? Like, I will be happy.
Who was this comedian who was saying this shit? He was talking about Oprah Winfrey and Stedman was having some marital problems, and the situation was that he was saying that Oprah was having an affair with some other guy, and Stedman was getting upset about it, talking about leaving. Now Stedman has no money on his own. Stedman is doing nothing. Oprah has billions now. Okay, and the guy was saying, it's like, I don't see what the Stedman's fucking problem is.
Yeah.
If I was with a woman who loved me, was in a relationship, married, and she had that kind of money, I wouldn't have a problem with anything she was doing. You know what? He was in a situation, he was saying, you know, I could come in and she's having sex with another guy, and he'd be like, you know what? That's cool. Have fun. You need some help? Otherwise, I'll be in the Bentley.
And see, I guess that's the difference. Like, I don't think people can really notice. Well, no, I won't say they don't notice money. Maybe if you have it, you don't notice it. But if you don't have it, you definitely notice it.
I mean, well, it's because you're constantly surrounded by the media. The media that tells you, like, oh, well, you know, if you work hard enough, if you know the right people, if you do the right things, you might be able to afford this Cartier one day. You might be able to afford this Phantom. You might be able to afford this Lamborghini. Because all the good people have Lamborghinis. And you're nobody if you don't have a Lamborghini.
So
and that's the image that
I was asking earlier, what do we call the people with money? The good people. They're somebody.
The successful.
Successful. Okay, so there are things that are attributed with...
To success.
To wealth, really.
Yes.
To money.
I mean, with wealth, here's the thing. They say, if you have $1 in your pocket, you're not doing anything with your life. If you have $100 in your pocket, you just got out of bed. If you have $1 million in your pocket, clearly you're going somewhere. But until you have $1 billion in your pocket, you ain't doing shit with your life.
Who says that? Bill Gates? I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody says that. Where did that come from? No,
These are things that you hear from these kind of people.
Dude, get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Mind you, the only people who saying this shit's ridiculous are the people who don't got $1 billion.
All right, you're right. We don't got
For us, it's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford that. Right now, I'm trying to judge between rent and food this month.
See?
So,
and that's where a lot
that's
of
a real life decisions I'm facing right now. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids. My little girl's got to get braces and shit. I'm barely getting 40 hours at the factory. I don't got enough money to pay for all this shit. I'm fucking struggling. You know what I'm saying? But then the next guy who's making $9 an hour at McDonald's and shit, who doesn't have a family and shit, he's doing somewhat better for himself because he doesn't have my responsibilities.
So,
But that person's judging me. I'm judging that person, and everybody's judging everybody based on what they have and what they don't have, and it usually comes back to money these days.
It comes back to money. So we said there's levels to wealth. There's different levels to money, and having that money gives you automatically some kind of status.
Yes.
Some kind of status. So this is where I want to just kind of break down the class.
You be a poor, nice person, but you can be a rich asshole. People will like you.
That's what I'm saying. I want to break it down. Like, how does class actually break down? Like, we always talk about class and classism and, the 1% and shit like that. But what does it actually mean when you have money? And how does it affect you? And what can you actually do? And, yeah, you can get away with a lot of shit. But, okay, we talked about that. And now I kind of want to move to... what the fuck is money? Like, where does it come from? How does it... Like, I don't want to stay on it for too long, but we both know where money comes from.
I mean...
How would you explain it to the audience? How would you tell them quickly? Can you give a quick summary of money? Could you do that? What is it? You look... you don't look...
there's... Because there's so much shit that goes with it. I mean, I could tell you that. What is money? Money is it's like you're issued a bill based on percentage of mineral wealth, something that backs that money up. I could tell you that, but that doesn't really tell you anything. I could tell you that it's these little green slips of paper that you have in your pocket, but that doesn't really tell you anything either. I can tell you that this is shit that banks print every day, but that doesn't tell you anything either. What I can tell you is that money is a system, is an exchange for barter. It's like a bartering system in a way. Before you talked about goods and services exchanging hands. We talked about negotiations and shit. But money is a thing that's used now in place of those things now. So instead of, say, my 3 goats for your 8 deer, I'll give you $500 and I can buy your whole farm.
Okay, but where does that $500 come from though? Like, where does the
origin of money?
The money that you have in your pocket right now, where'd that come from? You earned it.
Did I?
You earned it. Shut the fuck up. What do you mean, did I? Yes, you did. You earned it.
Okay.
But then where did they get the money to give you that money?
Man, that goes back into some more shit.
It does, but...
these are never simple questions. I mean, how do you... these are things that people just accept. You accept that you live in a government. That government has a fucking printing press. They determine what is wealthy and what is not.
But does the government make money?
What do you mean, does the government make money?
But does money come from the government? Money doesn't come from the government.
No, the government doesn't come from the government. No, see, okay, and that's touching upon that once again. It's like, the government only exists because they're taxing everybody.
Exactly.
They're taxing everybody. So they're not actually printing, well, they are printing the money. They determine what is actually money. But the money doesn't come from them. So why do they have a say on what it is? That's another question to ask right there.
Yeah, it is.
But that's going a little too deep into it once again.
Is it? No, I want to know what it is. I want to know what money is. Like, I have an idea of what money is. For me, money is a fungible proxy. Money is the issuance of debt. That's what it really is.
Essentially, it's something that's backed by some kind of wealth.
Debt. No, not wealth. Debt. Money is backed by debt. I think I have a certain idea of what money is because I really, studied what it is. I looked at what the Fed thinks money is. I looked at what these fucking financial experts think that money is. Like, yeah, there are people who are economics majors and they want to talk about the market, but they never want to talk about what allows exchange to be possible and what it is that we're actually exchanging when I give you $1, and it's really just trust. It's trust.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Like, I trust that you'll be here and that you'll do these things for me. And money is kind of time.
Provided that we both value this same amount.
Yeah, exactly. As long as we value it's value, but valuing what? What are you spending? What are you earning when you go to work? What are you giving up when you go to work? What do they expect from you when you're...
When I go to work, first of all, they want my time.
Yeah.
They want my time and they want my effort. And so for those 8 hours, I'm supposed to be this person, this automaton, this cog in the machinery, and do my job and go home. I clock in, do my work, clock in, clock out, and go home.
And then you want your...
And then in exchange for that service, in exchange for that work, I'm issued this check. This check was basically say, this is what my effort, this is what my time was worth.
Okay, but
now, based upon that,
wait a minute.
I'm supposed to find a way to live.
Wait a minute. So here's your time and effort, and you expect to be able to turn around and have someone else give you time and effort, right?
Well, I mean, that depends whether or not I'm buying the goods or services.
You are. When you're working, you're earning the ability to
purchase goods and services.
Exactly.
Right.
But when you're working, you're also giving someone else a good and service, which is you and your time, your expertise, your...
Right. That's the exchange for my good and service.
Okay, so if it's all just about exchanging goods and services, where's the money come in? Like, if you're giving your time to this company and then they say thanks, and then you turn around and you say, okay, now I want a sandwich, so I need you to make it for me, and they make it for you and say, okay, thanks. Like, what's
money is the thing that connects all those activities.
It is, but where does it come from? Like, why? Why is it that thing?
It could have been anything.
It may have been anything, but what is it that really kind of like... I mean, I want people to see that money is kind of an intangible... It's more of a psychic thing than anything. I want people to understand that physical money is just a representation of what is actually going on. Which I know people are just going to say, oh, it's the economy. Oh, it's the market. But there's something else going on. I know, you're looking like, this dude's crazy because he's always trying to take some shit 10 times deeper than it needs to go. But
I'm just saying, I think you're losing some people there, Bob.
No. Maybe. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. This is our channel, and I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. So, if I'm losing some people, oh well. I'm saying, something is exchanged, your time, for your ability to have agency later on elsewhere.
Right.
You're giving up your agency, your ability to be free in the world, making whatever you make and doing whatever you do at work, giving it up, in order to gain money so that you can give it to someone else so that they can give up their time and do what you want, right?
Right.
Okay. So where does the money come in? Like, if you're just exchanging time and energy and effort, then what is the money? What is that actual thing? And I don't think people really understand what it means to give up their time for money. I don't think they really understand that. Because it's going to be difficult. Because now you have to place a value on everything.
Yes. That's where all that shit started from. Is someone placed a value on things.
Yeah, but who gets to decide? See, this is the question. What is money? Who decides what is money? And I'm trying to separate what money can do, what it makes you feel when you have it, from what it actually does. Does that make sense? I'm trying to separate those two things because they are two independent things.
Right.
And I'm trying to get to what we do with money and how it really kind of fucks up our lives because we're giving up ourselves in order to gain something that's not really real.
Service markets, exchange rates. I mean, these are things that happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of tough to explain.
After the things that we've read and seen, we know that money is not a real thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that this society seems to be based upon right now.
Yeah.
Everyone is stuck in this loop, this infinite loop of chasing money, because without money, you can't seem to do anything in this world.
Yes, that's true. But why? How? Who decided that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who fucking decided that we all had to be rich or die? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
be rich or die.
Well, be rich or starve. I mean,
essentially, that's what that shit comes down to.
Who decided that we needed to tie things you need to survive to money? Like, that just
You know,
seems like a fucking mistake.
When you say that shit, you know, the first thing I think about is Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs, right? The food, the shelter, the warmth, the companionship, the security, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere along the ways, get money, got to add it to that list.
Somewhere along the way, I don't know.
I mean, when did this happen? I mean, it used to be the basics, you know what I'm saying? If you had the basics, that means you were good in your community, everybody was getting along and everything was fine. And then someone decided, no, that's not good enough. Someone needs to have more than the next person.
Well, here's the thing. There are always going to be people who have more than others. Just think about it like this. Before money, I mean, I'm trying to talk about the history of money, where it comes from.
Before money.
Before money, yes. There was a time before money, believe it or not. There actually was. And we traded. We were traders. We were barterers.
Of course.
We gave what we had, what was extra. Does that make sense? So let's just say you're a farmer. You're a farmer. You plant corn. You had a fucking great crop this year. It was amazing. You got more corn than you know what the fuck to do with. A guy comes walking down the road with all these goddamn cows, and you're like, look, man, I'll give you some of this corn if you just let me have one of these cows. And it worked. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that worked. Civilizations could survive simply by, this kind of trade route type of system where close communities would work and live together and kind of just like trade mutually what they needed.
I mean, but that touches upon okay, so the community existed before all these things.
Yes.
Because we all recognize that we have different skills and abilities.
Yes.
Some were better at gathering, some was better at hunting. And by coming together, the group of people were able to flourish and survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then we eventually got to the point where we started producing a whole bunch of extra, tons of surplus.
Yes.
And that allowed society to grow.
It
that
did.
allowed towns to flourish, villages to come into existence.
But now you got a problem. Because now you have these city-state type, town type, these little places where people have gathered, and maybe you don't need what someone is trading.
Well, okay, maybe you don't, but your town might does. So.
But what if they don't? Like, what if you trade for something and it's just sitting there? It's useless to you now.
Then no longer has any value.
It doesn't have any value.
Doesn't have any value.
There's a problem there. A big problem. So, you have to think now, I can't get rid of this shit. I can't unload this. No one needs it. No one's close enough nearby to trade. Like, there's got to be some other way. And this is where money comes in. Money is the thing that allows us to trade value for value, like for like.
Right.
It allows us to assess the value of something and say, well, I put my time and energy into making all these fucking crops, and I'm not just going to give them away for a cow. I'm going to, say that we can exchange these things
Right.
instead, so I can keep the crops that I don't need. I can keep the crops that I don't sell, and you can keep your shit, and we just exchange this particular thing for it instead. So it's like somewhere along the way we started using these like trinkets and shit to represent. And back in the day, it used to be beads, feathers, shells. Like it could literally be anything. Money does not have to be a paper note at all. People used to fucking teeth. Because it was a limited resource, okay?
It's true.
Human teeth. People used to use money.
I mean, it's not just human teeth, but they used everything back in the day.
They did, but they all
But
agreed on.
But now we're moving away from we're even moving away from physical currency now.
True, that's also true.
Now we're going digital,
Which is dangerous for a whole other set of reasons. But okay, I mean that was just me kind of talking about where money originated and the reason why we needed to go towards money, because you have to agree that something is valuable, and everyone's going to agree to get it and use it as the medium of exchange. Money is just kind of a medium of exchange. So I don't know, I kind of want to just put that out there, because I want people to realize that it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way, this particular capitalist way, this particular banking way, you know. It doesn't have to be this way. There was a time when shit was different, and I don't think a lot of people know that. So I kind of just wanted to get that shit out.
Money wasn't everything? Money wasn't end all be all all situations?
No. So, okay, once you get money, now you have to put a value on shit. So now you have to say, well, yeah, I got this bumper crop, but I think it's worth $1 million, motherfucker. So, and this is where these economists come in. They start to...
That bumper crop is only worth $1 million if other people agree with you that it's worth $1 million.
Thank you. And this is where markets come in. Because you might value something, like Donald Trump, he may value his name at $1 billion, but that might not necessarily be true because maybe no one's willing to pay that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
you can only go so far as the market's willing to bear.
Exactly.
Well, in a free market.
True. Also true. And
in a free market, in a truly unregulated free market, yes, there will be goods and services that will not be exchanged, that will not be sold because there's not a consensus on the value of the items, and that's true. But in an overly regulated market society, these things do not happen.
You might be too big to fail at that point.
Well, you know, they like to use terms like too big to fail, but things fail all the time. The problem is they're being backed by other resources that perhaps should not be backing these things because why? It's disrupting the economy. It's disrupting the market. Certain things should have fallen apart years ago. Gasoline automobiles have been obsolete for 70 years. People are still driving them. Why? Why are these companies still making them? Why?
Money.
Why is oil still being used?
Money.
Why?
Money.
See?
And see, now that we're talking about what...
I mean, look at what Tesla was doing. Free wireless electricity? Wow, that sounds like a beautiful thing.
It does.
Why would I ever want to pay for electricity if I could have it for free? So who determined that I should have to pay for this shit?
It's a good question. It really is. Some fucking guy who laid a lot of fucking grid and electrical wires decided, hey, you should pay me for it instead.
See?
And certain people backed him doing that in his endeavor.
And that's the problem right there. It's because he's a certain people, certain organizations, certain agencies backing these few people, which to the detriment of the common person.
Right.
Because at the rate we're going, they're going to be charging for air soon.
Because everything has a price, apparently.
Exactly. And I don't know, man. Can you think about a time when your grandchildren will have to pay for every breath they breathe? You can't even live on Earth for free anymore.
Dude, we're almost there. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, there is no place I could go right now and eat for free. I guess I could hope that there's like a crabapple tree somewhere down the street. Or maybe in the springtime collect some berries. Collect some berries from one of those poisonous bushes. I mean, maybe, leaves? In the wintertime, I would die.
You know?
Simple as that, I would be dead. I don't know.
And then technically, that's really not even free because right now, you're in a race against discovery when you're doing these things.
True.
Because as soon as they discover that you're able to live without them, they're going to find a way to tax you for what you are using.
True. And taxation, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know. I'm trying to get to how everything has a value and how money... I'm trying to get to how money determines the value of resources, including human resources. So it's like, how much would it cost to mine all of the gold on Earth? How much would it cost to mine all of the oil on Earth? How much manpower will we need? Like, the fact that you can calculate that value, I mean, I think that's a big fucking problem. Some things should not
Here's the real question. Here's the real question with that. I mean, you're talking about mining for gold, mining for diamonds. And I get it. You know, it's rare. You don't just see gold and diamonds trickling off the waterfalls and shit.
No.
I get that. That's fine. So, of course, someone went around and decided since it's rare, it must be worth something. And if it's worth something, other people are willing to pay. Other people's willing to pay even more for it. Okay, fine. So now I should look into investing in this resource and acquiring more of it so I can get even more rich off of this. Okay, that makes sense. But are we forgetting that these things existed in the earth for a reason outside of being acquired for us for material gain?
You're right. You're totally right.
At this point right now, we are literally stripping the earth of its resources from gold, diamonds, mine, all these things just being stripped from the earth. The earth is suffering.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not going to say no one seems to care, but all those people who are making those monies, they don't care.
And that's what I'm trying to get to.
And that's the default of you as a consumer buying these things. You are tallying in with them, chipping in right along with their way, talking about how you don't care either.
And that's what I'm trying to get to, is the fact that you buy a car, okay? You work, you buy a car, and a company gets your money, and they use that money to make more cars. And it's a whole, they always talk about the economy and the money flow and shit like that. But what they're missing is the materials used to make that car are from a finite resource. So yeah, it may seem like money is just like rolling and it's always just like flowing in a certain direction, or it may seem like it's just like living in its own little bubble, but you're missing out on the fact that you are taking from a finite resource with this money, and you're not putting it back in any real good way. You're not putting it back. There's no way to put it back. Money only takes. It only takes, and it only fucks you over and destroys shit. So, like the example I used earlier, the fucking wave machine.
Right.
You got the blue liquid on the bottom, and you got the clear liquid on the top, and when you move it, you can see that the fucking liquid is falling to one side and falling to the other, right? Okay, so yes, we see that some people have a lot of this money, and you can earn it, you can steal it, you can think of something amazing and people want to buy it, and that's the market. They only see that motion of money, but what they don't see is that every time that motion goes back and forth, something is being stripped away from the physical world. And this is why I want to say that money is a psychic thing, because we're all tricked into believing that we are gaining something when we're not.
Well, going with that philosophy, it's not even a question of us not gaining anything. It's from the moment we participate in such a process that we begin to lose everything.
Yeah, we start destroying shit actively. And that's like, I don't know, I was kind of like rambling before, but that's kind of what I'm trying to get to is, it's not only is it not real, but it is harmful. It is really destructive. Like,
I mean, well, there's this, as far as the advent of money, there's a lot of examples that this part touches upon. Because just like how we're destroying the environment here, we are. There's no getting around that. Industrialization is killing this planet.
Yeah.
But then, and it's not just the planet itself, it's all of us, because we're all connected to the planet. You know what I'm saying? And now we get with the advent of, because here's the thing, these corporations, right, they come up with a product, and you buy that product, so that means you're supporting that corporation, right? And so those people who are making those monies off of you buying those products think, well, how can I get even more money? So now I'm going to substitute ingredients. I'm gonna change my overhead, lower my overhead, so I can increase my margins, so I can increase my money flow. And the way they do that is by swapping out substandard equipment, come up with these artificial ingredients.
Don't forget lower wages and labor.
Exactly. And now, I mean, what's the best way that I've heard of companies lowering some of the overhead is, instead of having employees, they have contract workers. Because now, as a contract worker, you're technically self-employed. So now they don't have to worry about taxes with you, don't have to worry about insurance with you. You have to take care of that yourself. Yeah. The burden is on you. So it lowers the overhead drastically, which means more money in their pockets. But as far as like when I talk about switching out artificial ingredients and stuff, we look about the rise of the GMOs.
Yeah.
We look at these rise of plastics, processed and foods, because what's happening here is now you're taking in all these ingredients that were never meant for human consumption.
Here's
so
another thing.
That's something that's actively killing you.
Here's something I want to touch on. Money is value, okay? Money is value. And the problem is there are some things that don't have a price. Your life does not have a price. This world does not have a price. You should not let money determine the value of things. You should not let other people tell you what the value of something is. You should not, I don't know. You should be able to make up your own mind, but it's a weird dynamic because you can't move or function without money.
Well, it was a group of people who decided that we need money. It was a group of people who benefited off of the fact that we need money, and it became this universal idea that permeated all of society. So now it's at this point where you can't think outside of money these days.
You can't.
Because everything that you do, that you want to do, in some way, shape, or form, it's going to cost you money. Money that you have to earn, borrow, beg, or steal to get to make that happen.
And you know what? I really do think it's fucked up, because if you know the origin of money, you know there is no money that was not stolen. Like the first money was a lie. It was a fucking lie. It was these slips that you would exchange to get your physical gold back, okay? Right. And what did the people who were holding on to this gold do? They just started making fake notes. They just started making fake notes. That's what they did. They're like, fuck it. I'm going to just print more. I don't care. And it became to the point where people were relying on it because they thought it was real. They thought they could get the real shit for it. So they were terrified that everyone would rush in and try to get all their physical real shit back at once. And that's kind of the beginning of it. That's still on the origin of it. I'm trying to get to the point where we have decoupled from the physical world with money, yet we are still destroying the world trying to generate it. Mm-hmm. Like, it just seems insane. Like, we have to let it go, man. We have to. And
I don't know, a world without money? What would that even look like?
Wow. It's on there, but it's like...
Is that going to talk about the whole barter and exchange system again? Does that need to be a barter and exchange system?
Look, man, Bitcoin. I know this is going to be stupid, but Bitcoin, I really do think...
Didn't they say they're going to mine all the Bitcoins by, 2017, 2018?
Yeah, something like that.
Because it's a limited resource.
It is a limited resource. And the way that they try to talk about the shit, they're like, oh, well, it does take resources to make. You need a good computer to mine for the shit. There's only going to be a finite amount of them.
Based on the number of transactions, that'll determine how much you're actually earning.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's a new form of money because you can exchange money with people without the huge penalty that comes from moving money usually.
Right. And part of it's because it's outside of the government regulatory systems right now.
Yes, that's true.
But the minute that enters that system, all that shit's going to change.
Oh yeah, they're going to drive
it's going to go from a limited resource to something that they just keep doing all the time.
Mm-hmm. And just making new ones and fucking up and doing whatever they want. And I don't know. I mean, Bitcoin is just an example. I'm not trying to endorse Bitcoin. I don't use Bitcoin. I'm just saying, here's an example of people using money in a different way, because they, just like you have to, mine for gold and then mint the coins and then give them to someone. They say that, it does take electricity to run the computer to mine the shit. So they're trying to say...
the equipment that you had to buy in order to do it in the first place.
And that's what they're trying to say that this is backed by. Which, in our minds, it's like, it's a fucking computer, Like, come on now, who are you trying to fool? But at the same time, the principle is the same. It's just on a different kind of digital level, I suppose. Like, I don't know. And you can't really fucking knock it or be mad at them because they're using the exact same ideas that were, brought up so long ago to make money as we have it now.
Right.
I don't know. A world without money.
That's the real question. What would that world be like? How would that world function?
I mean, you would just get up and get what you need.
Hmm.
If somebody made something, they would just make it until they didn't want to make it anymore. And if you got it, congratulations, I guess. I mean,
but if you just wake up and get what you need, where's the incentive to do anything?
I mean, what is the incentive to write a symphony? What is the incentive to paint a
nowadays,
picture? What is the incentive?
Anyone could paint a picture or write a symphony, and some do it out of love for their craft.
Yeah.
Majority do it because they're trying to eat.
Yeah.
And they need to get paid. And the way they get paid is by providing this service, this product, so that they work and get some money to it.
Yeah, that's true.
But in the world that you're talking about where money doesn't exist, now it's only passion projects now. If I'm not passionate about it, I'm not doing it. If I'm not doing it, it doesn't get done. Does the world benefit then?
I'm not going to say that it doesn't get done.
And in that world, then, because money is no longer an issue, did we cease the stripping of our world?
I would hope so.
Or will we just find something else to strip for and another reason to justify it?
Hopefully, if we did tap into our natural resources, it would be to better ourselves and not just...
because one of the things that always bothered me, and I understand that it goes back to the whole material wealth and the way they process things or whatever, so forth. But as a human being, you're what, 3/4 water?
Yeah.
Roughly? Living on the planet, covered in what, 3/4 water?
Mm-hmm.
But they charge you money to drink water, though.
They do.
That seems odd to me.
Well, think about it like this. God, it's so hard to talk about this because long ago, there was a guy who took his time, effort, and energy on his own land to build an aqueduct. The river was something everyone could go to. All right, nobody minded. They played in it. They washed in it. They fished from it. It was the source of life and everything that they had. But one guy had the foresight to build the fucking aqueduct. And you know what? A lot of people saw that aqueduct and they're like, damn, dude, this is nice. How can I get in on this? Why don't you build an aqueduct for me so I can farm way the fuck out here? We got even more land now. And people come up with ideas and they should benefit from those ideas. They should. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't.
They should. So that guy who came up with that aqueduct should have shared his secret freely with everyone else. And everyone else have aqueducts and everybody would have free drinking water.
And that's
no more problems.
No,
but that's not really how that worked.
That's not how it worked because not everyone knew how to build one.
But he could have taught them.
He didn't. He hired a couple guys to build them, and they all got rich.
See, because that's how it actually worked out.
Yeah, and that's the way it is. I don't know why it is that way, but that's the way it is.
In the world of money, everything comes back to the money again.
It does.
Everything. So it doesn't.
I can't. You know what? I'm so absorbed in it. I can't even think of a world without money. I have no idea what that world looks like.
Exactly. Think about that.
That's fucked up.
It is.
I'm scared. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know everyone thinks money is evil. Money is the root of all evil.
Well, that's what they've been saying for years because look at what money does. Look what people do to attain it.
And look what they do to get it. Like, oh, God.
Right. How's that song go? He would lie to his own brother, steal from his own mother. Why? For that dollar bill, so that he could go out and buy something.
I don't know, man. This is depressing. Like, there's no real answer to this. There's no real solution. There's no... It's just kind of observing the way shit is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to get around it. I really don't. I've thought about it long and hard, too. I really have. And I mean, me as a person who does not have a fucking job right now, and who has not...
I wasn't going to bring that up.
What?
I wasn't going to bring that up. I said... I wasn't going to bring it up.
What you mean?
But, I mean, if we're going to be on the subject of money, though, we should probably address the elephant in the room.
This is the elephant?
This is the elephant.
Wow.
So you're the guy who doesn't have money. But your whole life involves money, though.
In some way, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Your clothes, when they get washed, you're not doing it by hand typically. Or if you are, you still need soap. And that soap has to be bought.
True.
When you go to wash your clothes, you need soap. You need quarters to wash your clothes.
I do.
When your glasses get broken, you have to get a new pair.
Thank God these haven't broken.
That costs more money.
Mm.
The new hats that you have costing money.
This was free, actually.
That one.
This was free, actually.
You know, all the new games.
Yeah, I do love games.
Exactly. The membership to buy these games. All these things cost money. Your life, even though you are not personally bringing in the money, your lifestyle is supported by money.
Which just seems weird, right? I mean, it seems terrible. I don't understand it. Like, shouldn't I be able to live this way? I mean, everyone generally does the same shit all over. I mean, I don't know. It just seems wrong to think that some people without money, they just want to, what? A meal? A TV to watch? Some clothes to make sure they don't freeze in the wintertime? I mean...
Everybody wants the basics.
I mean, I think everyone should have the basics. Why can't we just have the basics?
Because who's going to pay for the basics? Is that a new tax now?
Yeah.
Is the government going to charge us a new tax for the basics so that everybody can have that? But wait, wouldn't that just be like, what's one of those words again?
Socialism, communism, what is it?
I'm saying, see, and that's a whole different system right there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But money is all in all of them, though. So is it really a different system? You tell me. I don't feel like it's so damn different. Money runs through every single one. How is it any different? Because you know who controls the money and you don't know in this system? It's all the fucking same in my mind because there are people still out there starving, trying to just figure out how to scrape up enough anything to live.
So what do? We just get rid of all money? Is it really that simple? Do we all just have a worldwide protest against money and see how we live after that?
I don't know. If you know of any system where you can like not have to exchange money, please let us know. I mean, I've heard of people doing the fucking voucher thing where they like, you know, you put in hours at a place and they give you a voucher. But this is like...
That's basically the same thing as money.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is basically the same. But that's the thing, though. Like, this is...
If all money is something used for the exchange of services and goods, then what do you change it from a dollar bill to a credit card to a voucher slip? It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. So that's why I go back to the same question. What the fuck is money? Like, it's just the medium of exchange. It's the leeway of what you can do. It's your ability to influence the world around you. I don't know. I mean, but you should be able to do that with your physical body, right?
You should be able to.
But there are some people who've made it so that physical action is irrelevant. You need money.
Exactly. You know,
how did this happen?
Back in the days, there was a time where you could just go out into the woods, build your own cabin, hunt, fish, gather what you need, and be okay. Now they say that's illegal.
How did this happen to us?
Why is it illegal? Well, you're destroying natural resources for your own private benefit. So then it's better to destroy private resources for public benefit, but not for private benefit, is what you're saying.
This is fucking depressing. But okay, let's move on to the systems. I don't know. How we segue into this shit? You are an authoritarian socialist.
Oh,
right?
Whoa! We just jump like that? That's how. Man, I don't even like labels.
Wait.
I don't even like labels. That's
I'm sorry.
Fucked up.
I'm sorry.
I'm a human being, sir. I'm a human being.
Wait, no.
Okay, I'm not black.
So,
I'm not brown.
fine. Here, you tell me.
I'm not an American. I'm just a human being.
All right, stop. Tell me. Fine, we'll edit that part out and we'll start with this. Tell me the ideal
The
economic system. Tell me.
ideal economic system.
The perfect. Since money seems to be inescapable, you give me the perfect
Man.
economic system.
You know?
And then I'll tell you what that system is and why you're wrong. Go.
Wow. Wow, that's so fucking inspiring. Let's see, sir. Shit, I'll tell you why that's wrong. Here's why. But you know, at least you're using critical thinking right there. Because why? How does critical thinking come in and out? Because he told you why. He broke it down in the reasonable chunks. Okay. Wow, that's fucked up.
Tell me the ideal.
The ideal system would be a system without money in the first place, where everybody just live and work harmoniously, and in so doing, they're granted access to everything that they need to survive.
Hippie commune. That's what you're saying.
Wow. Once again, I don't like labels, so I'm definitely gonna reject that one.
No, what you mean? So you want to live in a socialist hippie commune?
Wow. Well, see, he keeps coming in with these labels. Now, here's the thing about it. Here's why I react negatively to labels. Because each of these labels have their own connotations attached to them.
All right, well, you tell me how it's
and
not.
Because you attach these labels to them, you're already predisposing the audience to feel a particular way about something.
Well, okay, fine. You tell me how it's not.
So if you tell somebody, hey, let's live in this happy. How about we all move to this village somewhere, away from everybody else, start our own little town, be happy. You know what I'm saying? We'll work, we'll live together, we'll play together, and everything be fine, right? And you say that to somebody, and they're like, dude, that sounds like love. Let's go. Let's be there, right? But then you let somebody like this hear about something like that, and they're like, this motherfucker's building a cult. So everybody's drinking Kool-Aid and shit. I'll be wearing white robes and shit. I mean, you see how he just took it all negative.
No, it's not about negativity. It is what it is.
It is what it is?
Yes, you're saying...
So 500 people decide to live on their own, build and work for each other. That's a cult, is what you're saying.
No, not a cult. I just said it's a commune.
It's
a
a commune.
is a thing.
It's a commune.
What? It's not bad?
Yes, it is bad. There's... Historically speaking, name one commune that has not gotten bad press.
What you mean? You're the one that said you want to start it, not me.
Can you name one?
Yours?
It's not in existence.
Your theoretical one? I mean, what? Yours will be the first, right?
Only because it's not a commune. It's just another city. It's just another city.
Okay.
People living with each other, working, going to school, growing.
But you haven't told me how they would exchange goods and services without money.
Money doesn't exist. Okay, what is your... we'll start from there then. What is your ideal system for a world without money?
It wouldn't be without money. It would just be a system where everyone gets raised up to a similar level. Like, people would not be in poverty. There would be no poverty. Everyone would be raised up to a similar level because, for one...
If everybody's raised to a similar level, there's nobody who's outstripping everybody else then.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's...
I see a lot of old heads not agreeing with this so far.
Fuck them. I mean, they're the minority. I don't give a fuck about them. They're fine. What are you talking about? They got money. They have enough money so that their fucking children's children are billionaires, okay? It doesn't matter what they think, alright? They're done. You win. Can we at least have some for ourselves? Like, we're not trying to take any of your shit. We just want to raise the bottom.
But you already said that money is a finite resource.
No. It's... Okay. The problem is money is not a finite resource. There is only a finite amount of money that is possible to be in existence, yes, but it exists in a set. It's a fucking number set. That's all it is. And as long as you can keep adding to it, it's going to keep increasing until something goes horribly wrong. But in theory, you can continue to print money forever as long as you have infinite resources.
Which we don't.
Yes, because we live on a fucking sphere. We can't expand out into space. Yes, we do not have infinite resources. My idea, though, for
your idea,
this is to bring everybody up, okay? What you do...
So is that not a form of socialism?
It would essentially be socialism.
It's funny how, because you've always argued against socialism in the past.
No.
Yes, yes, you have.
No.
Yes, you
I'm
have.
not. No, I'm not.
Yes,
no.
you have.
No.
Yes.
Why would I? What are you talking about?
Okay.
No, I am against communism. That's what I'm against.
Okay.
Communism.
Okay, explain.
What you mean explain? There's a big fucking difference.
Explain.
Now,
Assume our audience does not know what the difference is.
okay, so...
Not to insult you guys. But there's one of you who don't.
Okay. So, in my mind, it's always been that capitalism is a soft fascism, and socialism is a soft communism. That's how it's always been in my mind. That's how I've always perceived it.
Okay.
Now...
It's a soft communism.
Yeah.
But
So
what is communism?
communism is nobody has any money except the people that are pulling the levers. You don't get to decide where you work. You don't get to decide. It's kind of like a caste kind of system where you are just brought into the system. You were given a number. You were told you're going to be the worker number 1459 and we are going to feed you, make sure you don't starve, so that you can produce for the greater society at large, essentially.
Okay. But in that system, in that communist system, is there someone that benefits more than someone else?
Yeah.
The people who pull the levers.
Yeah. The people who are deciding, it's a planned, structured, super strict kind of economy.
Okay, whereas in socialism, there's no individual or no single group pulling those levers.
In socialism, no, there is no big group of people that are, there are no, well, okay, I won't even say that, because socialism is more about pooling resources, in my mind.
Okay.
Whereas communism and socialism are both about pooling resources. But socialism is about pooling resources for the majority, and communism is about pooling resources for the few. So that's how I've always seen it. Whereas capitalism is about everyone earning money, and fascism is about very few people earning money. Now here's the thing. There are gradients in my mind between these two things, and you can have a capitalist. Well, no, it'd be very hard to have a capitalist, communist society. They're two diametrically opposed, and they're on two different sides of the line. But you can have a somewhat socialist, what the fuck is the word? Oh, a somewhat socialist, capitalist economy. You can. Because everyone can be earning money. America is a fucking capitalist, socialist economy. It is. Because everyone is earning money. And we're also pooling the majority of our resources to benefit the majority of people. So while we do have capitalism and we do earn money, we also do things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. School is socialized, medicine, you know what I'm saying? These things are social programs. We pool the majority to benefit the majority.
We do have these social programs.
Yeah, so we do
but
have...
as the lever swings more towards capitalism, these social programs constantly get reduced in funding every year.
This is true, but it is not gone yet, and I'm talking about the current system as it is now. Maybe there is being... Yes, we constantly see it eroding, okay?
Yes.
And
from the quality of the public schools to the lack of money for Social Security.
Yes, to old people just dying on their fucking Medicaid, and Social Security is getting smaller and smaller.
And now with the public hospitals, it's getting harder and harder for an individual to get treatment without being rich right now.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, okay, we get it. There are problems. In any economy, there's going to be problems, but I mean, it's hard to talk about this because I want to also go into how you bring everyone up Okay, you don't have to have everybody at the fucking bottom dying and starving off the, falling off the treadmill as everyone's just like chasing the fucking money. And if you can't make it, you just fall into the cracks and you just see a guy sleeping on the street. You can bring everyone up. Yeah, you can bring everyone up by increasing. First of all,
are you about to go back to your shareholder proposition?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because it's the easiest way. You don't have to change anything else, okay? You don't have to change one fucking thing. The only thing you have to do is be like, shareholders, fuck off. And that's it. They have to leave. And then you turn to all your employees and you say, you're all shareholders now. You can't be a shareholder unless you have an employment contract with that company. So what does that mean? That means Coca-Cola can no longer have a board of directors and these motherfuckers benefiting off the backbreaking labor hours of sweat that these motherfuckers put into this company. So what does that mean? It means if you make all the people who work at Coca-Cola, if you divvy up and break down that billions and billions and billions of dollars in profit and give it to everyone who works for Coca-Cola, those people have now moved way the fuck up the economic ladder to the point where they might even quit. Okay? They might be like, wow, I'm a fucking millionaire. Bye. Thanks a lot. That's it. That's all I needed. They get to leave. Guess what? Now you can give the fucking kid in Africa the job at Coca-Cola because this guy's a millionaire now and he just left. You're actually bringing more people into the monetary system as opposed to letting motherfuckers die and starve in the streets. So yes, make your employees the shareholders of these fucking companies because now they move into the 1% and you can tax them to fund the programs that we love so much. You can have capitalism. You can have people working and earning as long as you distribute the earnings to the right people. Not to the assholes who are at the top. And you know what? The people who do work and earn those good returns for the work that they did that year, they might invest. They might try to make new products. They might do different things. Like, this is when you start getting a real free market because more and more people will have the money to do things.
But the free market is still not going to exist with government regulatory being what it is.
Okay, but we're not really trying to talk about the government because we're trying to talk about money.
Right, but the government is what's making money so difficult right now.
Is it?
I mean, think about it.
I would say
in the free market, and I was about to touch on that. In the free markets, the bank bailout wouldn't have happened. The car bailout wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
In the free market, those would have crashed.
You're right.
And that crashing would have led to a better economy.
It would have. You're right.
But that didn't happen because of the government.
I wouldn't say it's just only... I would say it's because of the moneyed interest in these companies, shareholders.
Well, these shareholders are our politicians.
Okay, fine. Maybe some of them, but I don't even think the people who are benefiting... I mean, think about whoever owns McDonald's, okay? I mean, I use these big multinational corporations to try to make a point. They are earning an astronomical amount of money. Like, beyond what you or I would ever earn in 10 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes, 1,000 lifetimes. And I'm talking about 1,000 good lifetimes with Ferraris and hoes with cocaine, sniffing it off their asses, okay?
See, I think once again, this is the perception of success and welfare. Because apparently, you're not successful if you don't have Ferraris and hoes and sniffing cocaine with them.
All I'm saying
just what I took from that.
1,000 good lives, okay? Like,
that's a good life.
I'm just saying, a life where you can have the agency to do whatever the fuck you want to do, not this
because what's the point of having
piecemeal.
fuck you money if you can't say fuck you?
That's what I'm saying. So look, the shareholder idea that I have